What's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about this truck that's behind me. It's a 2013 Ford Police Interceptor utility. I'm taking the stickers off because this one was unfortunately totaled in a car accident. You may have seen it in the shorts. I'll probably link that somewhere above, but yeah, the driver is okay. Both drivers were actually okay, but unfortunately the insurance company totaled out this car. And while I was taking the stickers off, I was thinking about how this is something that people don't necessarily deal with every day, where you have a car that you personally finance through a finance company, but then it's used for business work, and then how that conflicts with commercial insurance and all the stuff that happens, you know, with that type of a situation. So while we take these stickers off, we're going to go ahead and talk about it a little bit. So all of these stickers that are on the car, we put on that for positive identification, marking our vehicles, advertising, but also so that DPS knows like who we are, and other law enforcement agencies know who we are. But now that I don't know where this car is going to or who's going to own it, I want to make sure that anything that has our company badging and our company logo is taken off. So on the back of the truck right now, I've got to finish taking off where it says Valkyrie right here. I don't really care about the protection agency or the private patrol or anything like that, but anything that says Valkyrie or has my company logo on it, I want to take that stuff off. I've also had to take out anything that, like, we had a center console in here. We had a light bar on the roof, and you can see where the wire for that came out of the top. Anything that we've added, so roof lights. This car was a canine car, so actually a canine kennel back here. That canine kennel has been taken out. All of our lighting packages have been taken out. And you can see some of these here. So this was the traffic advisor that was in this car. This is another older version of it, but this is the one that was in this car. We had all of that was in there. I had to take all of that out. The hubcap probably needs to go with the insurance company because they're taking the tires, but those are kind of nice to have extras of, so maybe if they don't care, I might keep it. But there's the center console for it. There's a spare tire that I bought for it. A lot of the stuff that, there's the light bar for it too. So a lot of the things that were on this car, I paid for out of pocket, but not all of it can be salvaged. So like, for example, these pucks, I could probably spend some time taking those off, taking all the wiring out, but the squeeze just isn't worth the juice. The juice isn't worth the squeeze. I forget how that phrase goes. But a lot of that equipment's expensive. The light bars run us at least $700 to $1,000 a piece. The traffic advisors are $250 to $500 depending on where you buy them and what you get with them. We do work with SpeedTech lights a lot. I say work with, I mean we buy from them a lot for a lot of our products and a lot of our trucks. Here's another example up on this Explorer. We have these auxiliary brake lights that also turn into warning lights when our lights are in warning mode. We had to take those out too from this car, so you can kind of sort of see where it was mounted in there. We had to take those out. Anything like that has to come off the car. It doesn't have to. I can give the car to them with all the stuff on it. But again, going back to having a personally financed vehicle and a company environment with commercial insurance, I owe about $11,000 on this truck. The insurance company is willing to pay about $8,000 for the truck. So I'm going to have to come out of pocket another $3,000 or so just to have it not be my problem anymore. So it's kind of unfortunate, you know. This car is still in great condition. It still starts and runs and drives greatly. Actually, let me show you why they totaled it. So on the passenger side, we have where the other vehicle impacted. And it looks really bad because, I mean, you can see how pushed in that is. I think you can on the camera at least. But that's all this is damage to the door. The door collapsed and absorbed the impact exactly like it's designed to. Unfortunately, the insurance company deemed this to be enough damage to total out the vehicle. Now, I'm not an expert when it comes to insurance companies and how they do their appraisals or is it worth the repair or whatever? But it blows my mind that about $500 worth of work was enough for them to come out of pocket $8,000 and make me come out of pocket another $3,000. It just confuses me. Like, why didn't we just go to a scrapyard and buy 2 replacement doors? And there's no medical injuries in either party for this accident. So no medical bills, no medical liability. There's no other sources of money loss. It's just the dents on these doors, which are substantial dents. These doors are replaceable. They come off of the vehicle. And this is a 2013 edition of this car. There's plenty of these cars in scrapyards at this point. I'm a little frustrated that we didn't just replace the doors. But that's how that shit works. So when you have, but that's just how that works. So when you have a insurance company with their own financial interests, and you have a financing company with their own financial interests, and then you have a company with their own financial interests, and then you muddy that water with your own personal vehicles, it gets a little tricky sometimes. So in this case, I purchased this vehicle for myself to use for patrol, and our patrol department got big enough that they needed another vehicle, and I had other vehicles to drive. So I didn't donate it per se to the company, but I allowed it to be used for company purposes. And you know, the driver that was using it was on the insurance and everything was okay. But the way everything all shook out, it was it's unfortunate, you know, like this car still has a lot of life left in it. So whoever you are, if you're watching and you happen to buy this vehicle at auction, this car's great. You know, it's got no mechanical issues. It's got no anything. It needs a couple of tires, and it needs a little bit of love and TLC and some new doors. That's it. So could probably do with an oil change, a new battery maybe. It's been sitting for about 118 days. That's the other thing with these insurance companies, and with the way this one played out. This accident occurred in Phoenix, and the insurance company was waiting on a police report to push all the things through. They've been waiting for over 100 days now for this police report, which means that I've been waiting over 100 days now for them to come pick up this car and to pay me out for my loss, which means for 118 days, I've not made a car payment on this car because I was advised not to. Now my credit is suffering too. So now my credit score is plummeting because I have missed payments and late payments. So that's just another, you know, side to this coin. The other thing about all this is the documentation process and the paperwork. You gotta make sure all that stuff is good to go. But once you have everything kind of sorted and organized, it's usually pretty easy to find everything. So we keep files for all of our vehicles, you know, their spare keys and their maintenance cycles and all that type of stuff. So in this case, I'm just looking for the spare key so I can give the tow truck a key with the bike, or with the, not the bike, the car. And here we are. So right here we've got the bumper number of the vehicle and the year and make, model, all that stuff. I know it says Explorer. Technically it's a Police Interceptor utility. There is a difference between the two vehicles, by the way. If you don't know those differences, then feel free to utilize Google to find that out. There's videos about it and stuff like that. But in short, the difference is that the Interceptor utility is a little bit more robust than a regular Explorer. They have a lot of similar parts, but a lot of pieces are different too. Like the suspension components are a little bit different. The interior is a little bit different. They have added features. So like the interior, the Interceptor has a power node that is connected to the battery. So you don't have to drill through the firewall to have power inside the cabin, that type of stuff. So but in any case, the stickers are all pulled off for the most part, at least the vital ones. like I said earlier, I think I said it earlier, I don't really care about private patrol or caution canine. I really mainly wanted to get our logos off and our name off. And even though the logo is still kind of sort of on there, it's not like very obvious what it was or whatever. It's not usable in its current state. We do the same thing with when guards no longer work for us. We get our shoulder patches back and stuff like that, because we don't want people to do something stupid on on whatever it is that they're doing, and we don't want that to look bad for the company or to give us negative attention or anything like that. So we try to be pretty good about maintaining access control and etc. You get the point. You know what I'm trying to say. All right, you guys, so we're under the hood of that 2013 Ford now. We have no battery in it at the moment because the original battery, which you can actually see right there, is dead. It's beyond jumpable and all that type of stuff. So we've got to replace that battery. Also, again, just for that conversation we were having earlier about these being a little bit different, that power cable is a little different. There's usually like extra breakers and stuff laying around inside these engine bays, and there's an entire extra breaker box for all the electronics and stuff. Pardon the mess and how dusty and nasty this is. It's been sitting, like I said, for 110 days without us touching it, except for that battery. Anyways, since this battery is missing and that battery is garbage, we are going to borrow the battery from this one. For this job, we're going to need a 10mm socket on a ratchet, and that's pretty much it. And the keys. So first things first, we're going to come under here and pull on this little lever. Boom, just like that. And then we're going to go around to the front of the truck, and we are going to pop this up, lift that, and I need both my hands. Okay, now that that's popped up, we're going to come over here and we are going to disconnect the negative side first. Should probably have my ratchet set for loosening bolts, not tightening them. And that's just going to pop right on off. Yikes. Boom. All right. I need a longer socket. Stand by. Okay, I'm back. For you guys, that was like a half second. For me, that was like a whole minute and a half while I looked for a socket. I'm just loosening these right now. The other terminal does need to come off before we really do anything else. And it's not super necessary, but this is why I like having that extension on there, so you can clear the this piece. Otherwise your hand's underneath that and it gets kind of awkward sometimes. So we're gonna just pull this off right here. And yes, this battery is leaking acid. One of the problems that we run into pretty consistently is these batteries tend to start leaking pretty much immediately because of all the heat out here in Arizona, but also all the extra electronics that we have running to these batteries, like dash cameras and lights and breaker boxes and all the other goodies that you find in a police interceptor. And again, we don't use these cars for police work. We use these cars for private security and private patrol. But the job is similar enough that these cars are kind of handy to have. So now that that's all done, I'm just going to go ahead and pull this battery out. And we're going to bring it over here and put it in this car. Okay. So. All right, I don't know if you can see that, but I actually managed to hook that terminal while I was putting that battery in. It's pretty impressive, if I do say so myself. I'm not going to bother mounting the battery all the way in there because it's coming right back out after we get this car out there. The end of the day, I do need this battery for my other truck. Although that other truck also needs maintenance. It has a water pump that is no good. So I'm trying not to drive it a whole lot right now because I don't want to dump any coolant into the oil. All right, boom, that's it. And I'll put this on the counter over here. All right, now we are sitting inside this 2013 Explorer, Police Interceptor utility. Look at that, it starts right up. It's been sitting for a while and it sits right up. I do have low tire pressure because 3 of the tires are totally flat. We are going to have to be kind of careful on the way out of the garage. You may notice me rocking from side to side. Because those tires are absolutely totally flat, like not even like almost flat, they're all the way flat. But other than those tires, that's it. This car is in great shape, still has Bluetooth and all that. Got a random radio station because the battery just got put back in here. This window doesn't go all the way up anymore, but that door being replaced would fix that. And I did take my time to cap and cut all of the live ends, so whoever does get this car next doesn't have a dangerous operation trying to figure out how to wire in lights and stuff. So this line in and USB do work, and both of these ports also work. I made sure to not sacrifice any of the existing wiring. I wanted to be polite to whoever has this car next because this car was good to me. And for example, that wire right there is live, but it's capped. You see that? So there's some water in the back too for whoever needs the water whenever they get it. But that's pretty much it. You know, now that this car is outside the shop, we're going to go ahead and roll the windows up best we can, and it's going to sit here until somebody comes to pick it up. Actually, no, it's not, because I need to get the other Explorer back in the shop. So I'm gonna, where am I gonna put it? I'm gonna park it right here. I figured it out. Okay, boom. Now we're good. So let's go get that battery back out and put it back in the other car and put the other car back in the shop, and then close the garage so that the AC doesn't get out, and then we'll be good. All right, so we got the battery back in this one, starts right up, good to go. I do have a check engine light in this car because the water pump, and actually the check engine light is for exhaust bank 2 sensor or something. But the water pump is bad in this car. We are going to go ahead and get this back into the shop so that we can do the maintenance on the water pump. So if you guys are interested in how that goes, feel free to leave a like and subscribe and a comment and all that good stuff. And let me know that you guys want to see that, because this will be my first time doing a water pump in one of these 3.5 V6 cars. So apologize, trying to film and back up at the same time, giving you guys a view of that backup camera. Our garage is a little tight because we have a lot of stuff in here right now. From the holiday season, we had a Christmas party that we hosted that we never really finished cleaning up from. So but I'm gonna have to finish cleaning it soon so that I can do the maintenance on this car. Yeah. So I can actually see in the mirror how close I am to those chairs. I'm not that close. The sensor is nice to get you to look, but it's not quite perfect as far as like if you're actually gonna hit something. Right about there. Boom. All right. So now, and by the way, this is that canine kennel that was in the other car. So if you guys are curious what that looked like, that's what it looks like. So now that we got this back in here, now we have plenty of room to set up to do the maintenance on this guy and do the water pump. The next thing after that, we're going to do the decals and all that stuff. This car has a lot of the parts that I salvaged from the other car. So for example, I bought this push bumper for the other car, and when that car got totaled, I took it off of that car and put it back on this one. The lights that were on those pucks are on here. The lights that were in the windshield are right there. But we did not put the overhead bar on this one, and I used a different control box for this one. All the other stuff is still over here waiting for the next patrol vehicle. So the next patrol vehicle will have a nice system set up. It'll be nice. All right, you guys, so I'm coming back. It's the end of the day now. It's actually the beginning of the next day from filming. We filmed all the previous clips yesterday. Right now I'm filming at 2 o'clock in the morning the following day. The rest of my day got kind of busy and some stuff was happening, so I didn't really get a chance to finish filming or kind of conclude my thoughts that I was having while filming. So if I started talking about something that you were curious about and you want to know more about it, let me know in the comments below. Also, the tow truck never came to pick up the Interceptor, so I called them. They're supposed to be by on Tuesday. We're going to wind up having a part 2 where I film them taking the car away. And what I'd like to do is, if you have questions, comments, and concerns, when I'm doing that filming section, we will address those questions, comments, and concerns. So if I started talking about something and then didn't finish and you were curious about what it was that I was going to say, leave that in the comments below. And as always, if you liked this video or any of my other content, leave a like, drop a subscribe. If you didn't like the video, totally fine, I understand, but do me a favor, leave a dislike and a comment. Let me know what I'm doing wrong and what to do to fix it so that I can make the content more entertaining and more valuable to you. Guys, have a good night and stay safe.